Your AAU team, you played with Shamgad, Guy Shamgad, if I said that correctly. You played with Lamar Odom, Elton Brand. Is Elton from New York?
Elton's from Peekskill. Elton's upstate, you know, upstate New York, where it's either really
Oh,
nice
okay.
or really rough.
Yeah. Okay, so you play with him, Lamar, and Eric Barkley. All y'all played AAU together. How
Yeah,
was that? How was that experience?
it was
Huge.
incredible, man. It was incredible. The first time I played against Lamar was in '91. I was 11 years old. He was about 6'1". I was like 6 foot, and then the next summer he came back 6'6". And we all remember that because he was tall and still nice. And then I played against Elton for the first time in '93 in five-star basketball camp. And I remember I tell the story all the time. Elton had holes in he had such a big hole in his shoe. And I had a big hole in my shoe. And I was like, yo, let me get you some, because I just played against him. I'm like, man, this dude is nice. So I said, man, let me give him some shoes. And he was a nice guy. You know, Elton's a super nice guy. So I went to get him some shoes, but those shoes had holes in it, but it was better than his shoes. And then he said, nah, I'm good. And he just played the whole camp. He had 3 toes coming out of his shoes, man, for the show.
Man, that's crazy.
Now, when you're young like that, when you're growing up in these projects, my son didn't obviously have to go through that because I paid the way for him. But myself having to figure out how to share shoes, share clothes with family members and whatnot to go play sports, that's a different. I don't know what it is, but it just takes us to a whole nother level.
Yeah, you got to experience that, Junior.
Yeah. Did you played against Kobe in AAU or?
I did. Yeah, one time.
How was that?
It was great. Well, at the time, I was playing with Aim High, so that was Kenny Smith's team. He still got the team to this day. It's called Aim High. So Kevin Jackson, a great New York City coach, should have been a pro coach. He was our coach on that team. We're like Vincent Smith, Kenny's brother, a couple other really good guys. So we played against, it was me, Shamgard, Shaheem Holloway, and a couple other guys, Raheem Johnson. And then and Rich Hamilton was on the other team also.
Yeah, it was Kobe, Vince Carter, Rip Hamilton on their team, right?
I heard Vince was on that team. I can't quite remember, but I remember Kobe because one of our guys kept calling him the next Grant Hill. So they was like, we going up against the next Grant Hill today. And I was a young boy. So I remember I tell Kobe all the time, he had about 30 going into the fourth quarter. Then they put me on him. I think they beat us, or we might have won. I can't remember who won that game. But it was definitely a competitive game.
Was that like a crazy comparison back then? Like saying you're the next Grant Hill?
To be the next Grant Hill, yeah, that was something. Like,
yeah, Grant Hill was that dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, Grant Hill was nice.
You got to think, Keyshawn, he signed, if I can remember, you might remember this, Ron, he signed that Fila deal with Fila tennis shoes. That thing was like crazy.
Yeah. Grant Hill's a deal.
It was.
The Detroit Grant Hill.
Yeah, the Detroit Grant Hill.
Well, you got drafted 16th overall by the Bulls in the first round of the 1999 draft with Elton Brand, who went #1. What was the Bulls atmosphere like in that first era post-Jordan?
It was incredible. I mean, I was a fan. Imagine being drafted to LeBron's team or now like Stephen Curry, and you grew up watching. So, but the cool thing about that team was they was like 1 year off for a championship or 2 years. So we still rode the championship plane. So the championship plane was crazy because it had, you had your own little suites. Mm-hmm. You had a bar.
That's hard. A little soul plane or soul train.
You said what?
It's like a little soul plane.
It was 100% soul plane, 100%.
The crazy thing is I don't even remember you. And for some reason I don't remember y'all playing for the Bulls. Now maybe it's because I done been hit upside my head too many times. Yeah. So it's just because I remember Elton, obviously Clippers and Sixers. The Bulls, I don't know. Maybe when MJ left, I just stopped watching the Bulls. It wasn't there when him and Pip wasn't there.
Elton got a record, the most ever consecutive field goals made in United Center. Elton Brand, 14 straight field goals against Utah. Karl Malone, the game was incredible. And it was all jumpers. I was like, Elton is nice.
No, the same dude with the holy shoes, huh?
The same guy, man. It was incredible. Man, 14 straight field goals. He beat MJ record. Which is incredible.
So Metta, what the hell were you doing working at Circuit City your rookie year?
Yeah, what is going on there?
Yeah, like what? You just wanted to get a job or something?
Yeah, man. I was trying to stay out of trouble, man. Because so when I first got drafted, if practice was over Friday, call it noon, I'm driving to New York, back to Queensbridge for like, call it 72 hours. Not even that, not 72 hours, like 36 hours. So I was always like on the move, and I just needed something to fill my time. And I was majoring in architecture coming out of high school. So at the same time, now that I think about it, my mind always moving. I'm always thinking about something academic. You know what I mean? So I needed to work. Even though I was playing, I was working hard. I'd be there 2 hours after working with Pete Myers, on my game after practice. And then you got another, 10 hours before you're gonna go to sleep. So it was like I couldn't really figure out what to do. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna give me a job at Circuit City. and just start working.
Were you ever recognized there? Like, did anyone ever notice you once? And they're like, yo, is Ron Artest helping me?
A rookie, yeah. I was a rookie, kind of rookie fame, 16th pick rookie, not quite like MJ, right? But people would be like, man, Ron Artest helped me with my
yeah, no, that's what I'd be like. I need a selfie.
So you worked in Chicago and in New York. Which Circuit City?
I worked Highland Park, Circuit City in Chicago.
Okay, so in Chicago.
We absolutely hope you enjoyed this video. If you want more from us, hit that subscribe button for all videos, full episodes, and exclusive content from the show. And don't forget to find All Facts, No Breaks on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.